Okay, I admit it. I may be a little bit guilty of overusing the word reset on this channel. Every time I'm like, ooh, what should I title this video? And most of it is me cleaning. I'm like, ooh, reset. I don't know if you guys mind. It's just the way that I'm able to clean, okay? But this video is actually the great summer reset of me, Alyssa, writing books. That's what I do. I write books. The primary focus of this video is to reset for the summer, specifically reset all of the writing things. There's nothing major really changing. I'm still working on the same project. I'm still drafting one and querying the other. I'm still working on that. I'm pretty on track with my goals, sort of. The resetting that I'm doing is not a big overhaul, change my life kind of reset. It's a clean everything up and get that fresh start, energy, momentum going, you know? Also featured in this video will be other resetting that I'm also doing, but I'm not gonna talk so much about it. I'm just gonna show you it in a beautiful montage that you will love and not skip through, Mom, thank you. But let's go through the writing. So what exactly am I even resetting? The first thing I wrote, which shows you where my mind is at, is querying. And you might be wondering, what does that mean? And also you might be wondering, Alyssa, you haven't told us anything about querying, so what are you possibly resetting? So if you're wondering how the querying is going, things are happening, but I'm saving it all for one larger vlog that will come out when I hopefully get an agent one day. So you'll see that in, you know, anywhere from 1 month to 7 years from now. But the resetting that I need to do is a couple of things. So I have a project management thing that I use. It's free. It's monday.com. And I used to be really good about keeping track, like who am I actively querying? What is the status of them? And so I need to update that, but also within the software of Query Tracker, which if you don't know, Query Tracker is a service where you can track all of the queries you've sent out to literary agents. And it also has a lot of data, so it can tell you like how long has it been since an agent responded to people, what's their reply rate, what's their positive reply rate, what's their negative reply rate. You can see when they've responded to people ahead of you and behind you in the queue, like you can see a lot of things. And you can create a list in Query Tracker of like, here's all the agents I want to query. And when I started querying, I didn't do as much research as a lot of people do, mostly because I've queried before, and so I already kind of had a running list of people that I wanted to query. But it's been kind of a while since I've looked through like the database of Query Tracker and see if there's anybody new that I want to add to my list. Maybe different agencies that I haven't heard of. Maybe I'll even look through a couple of books I've been reading and see if there's agencies listed in there that I haven't even considered yet. Like, so just kind of adding new agents to my list, maybe querying a few more people. There's not been, like, I'm kind of at this point where I have a lot of queries out that are with people who take like 10 weeks to respond. So maybe adding a few more shorter responders. So that's what I'm going to be resetting with querying. And the other thing I'm going to reset with writing is the writing plan. So my goals of when I want to be done with certain things, when am I going to go to readers, when do I want this draft to be done, when do I want to be starting a new book. I'm so sorry about all the beeping. It has been beeping since 5 in the morning and it's currently 2 p.m. and I don't know why they need to be going backwards for that long, but they are. So I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'll try to put some music under this to distract you from it. But I think I did a sort of writing plan in April before I really started drafting, or before I really got into draft 2 of this book. And so I kind of want to just sit down and look at where I'm at. What have I told people? What's a realistic timeline for me to finish this book? So I'm going to look at that. Another thing, I need to update my whiteboard. Right now, what's on there, it's when I was trying to figure out this plot issue with the wedding season, but I want to kind of clean that off and see if there's something else I maybe want to have on there as like a visual reminder of things. I might want to do a timeline. I also want to reset this room. So there's books all over my house, which I kind of love, but I'm gonna maybe put some books back on the shelves, take some new ones out, make a TBR, like pull out some books that I want to read that have been sitting on my shelf for a while. Be a little booktube moment. Who is she? So moving on to the other resetting that I won't probably really talk about all that much is just cleaning. So I need to clean my car out so desperately you don't even understand. So I'll be doing that, cleaning out the fridge, I need to like mop all my floors, clean the bathroom. I'd just like to spend a couple hours scrub-a-dub-dubbing. And then also, as always, I'm behind on laundry. Are we shocked? Actually, I'm not even that behind. And then the last things I want to reset are kind of random, but just like looking at my planner, putting things in the calendar, getting some things scheduled, organizing my video editor. So I use Premiere to edit my videos, but I just have one project open and I just have all of my music and graphics and all of that just in there. And there's so many videos in there, you guys, like from NaNoWriMo. I've been working out of that project for a long time. It's actually starting to slow down my computer because there's so much in it. So like making a new project that's like summer videos and putting in the music, maybe even looking for some new music to use in videos, and maybe I'll make some graphics. I don't know, maybe I'm feeling adventurous and bold. Those are the plans. I'm not gonna do this all in one day, but it's about 2 o'clock on Saturday, so I have the afternoon to kind of get started on that, and then I also will probably stretch that into tomorrow as well. So probably a lot of B-roll, but I'm going to be intentional about walking you through like what I'm working on, what I'm doing. I'm also hoping to get some writing done because you know me. Hi, let's go through, check things off here. I really haven't done very much, I guess. It's Sunday. Welcome to the new day. Yesterday, as you saw, no, you guys, I didn't even clean out the fridge. Okay, cleaned out my car. This morning I planned the week. I did a surface clean. Does that mean that everything in my house is clean? No, it just means I cleaned for like an hour. Got a lot of things back up to where I wanted them to be. So it's not about it all being done at the same time. It's about it being done cyclically throughout time. No, the big thing I did was create the writing plan, which we're gonna go through right now. So what I ended up doing behind me is I looked at all the chapters that are left in the book. So right now I'm on chapter 16. You might be confused because I've said chapter 19 is where I'm at. I don't know if you're really keeping that much track, but I am on chapter 19 of the new draft. But here I have of the old draft, what was the original chapter, whose POV it's in, and how many words it is. And then also just like a little keyword for me to remember like what that chapter is, you know, so they don't make sense to you. Some of them are like the explanation. One of the chapter titles is It's Time. One of the chapter titles is Pain and Discovery. Like it's things to cue me into what's happening there. And then I have how many words the original draft is, which is really, it's gonna be less in the new draft. So I didn't even look at what happens in this book before starting this rewrite. And the beginning I remembered much more clearly than the second half. Like the whole time I've been rewriting, I've been like, oh yeah, I know exactly what's coming up. It's this scene next. Or if I didn't, I remembered pretty immediately once I turned the page. But the second half, I think it's fair to say, is messier. But it was good to just kind of look through the chapters and figure out what happened so that I can actually get a realistic timeline of when I think I can be done. Because some of these chapters are 5,000 words and some of them are 1,000 words. Like near the end here, the last, most of the chapters are around 2,000 words, 2,000 to 3,000 words. And then you get to this section, which is like the climax of the book, and it's a lot of 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 5,000. I have a lot of chapters that combine like there's just a lot, it's kind of a mess. I mentioned in my recap that I was giving this book to readers like now, but now that I see how close I am, I have set up a really bold and ambitious plan, but I also just did my planning for the week. So I just filled out my planner and calendar and like looked at everything that I have, and it's much lighter than previous weeks. So I feel like I'm at a point now where I could grind it out, maybe. Let's go a little closer and I'll show you my plan. So starting on chapter 16 is where I'm at right now. It's about 2,000 words. And then on the side here, which you can't even really see, is when I'm gonna do it. So apparently today I'm doing a lot of things. I'm finishing out this chapter and I'm writing this hospital scene. Then I have this 5,000 word scene, so I'm giving myself a full day, Monday, for that one. And then this one is a 3K scene, so it's not as many words, but I looked through this, and aftermath and table leg doesn't make sense to you, but it does to me. And that means it's actually 2 different chapters that I've combined into one, but I need to split it back into 2 again. And it's only 3K, but it's a complicated scene and there's a lot of logistics. So that's gonna take longer, so that's a Tuesday. Then Wednesday is a 3.5 bedtime and busted is what this one is called. And this one is also just a Danny scene, but it's longer and complicated. So I'm giving myself all of Wednesday for that one. Thursday, I'm gonna try to do Picking Up Gwen and Coffee and It's Time, which are both 2K scenes, but this one is fun, so I'm excited about it. That's gonna be Thursday. Then on Friday, apparently I'm doing a lot. Well, then I have these 2 scenes that are like 1,000 words. So I have JB, which I'm not gonna reveal what that stands for, and then The Search, which this whole section actually flows really well together. So I have JB, The Search, and Pain and Discovery. These 2 are both dual POV chapters, but they're also both short. So this section, I think I'm gonna have to rework into like, instead of 3 chapters, that 2 of which have 2 POVs in them, I think I'm gonna rework it so it's like maybe 2 chapters total. But I don't know, I kind of like the back and forth it's like a quick back and forth between the 2 POVs. So we'll just kind of see, but that's what I'm gonna do on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we have Yikes, Reunion sort of, and Pain and Cold, which I love this whole section too. And so this is another 1.2, 1.2, 3. And so these 2 for sure on Saturday, but I might have time to get started on this one. And so then Sunday I have Pain and Cold and I Don't Know, because I Don't Know is the most confusing scene of the book. So I've given myself Saturday and Sunday for those. And then the epilogue, which is 1,400 words. That's what that means. And then, so I have Sunday and Monday. So this is a little ambitious, but I also have just looked at the schedule for the week and I know I can do a chapter a day if I actually just do it. So that is my goal and hope and dream and wish for the next week. So with this plan, then this draft will be done this week. I don't know if that's really gonna happen, but I can hope. Honestly, that seems like it should be doable. That's the writing plan. I'm actually really glad I sat down and did that because it kind of helped just lay it out and see. But other things I'm gonna try to do this afternoon is resetting all my query stuff and then also get my writing done for the day. I've given myself a lot of writing to do today, so I gotta do that. And then solidify my TBR for the month. I have kind of a running stack, but I wanna kind of go through all of that. I feel like there was something else I was gonna do. Oh, I need a meal prep. That's kind of the agenda for the afternoon and evening. Hi, thought I'd update you. Actually, I like the glasses. I'm deciding. Okay, so I just went through and updated all of my video stuff. So I went through all the music that I have on my computer and just like put the songs that I'm using right now into the folder, took out the ones I'm not using, cleansed that project file. Because right now the way I've been editing, this is just like a little video editing aside, I guess. With the amount of video that I edit, and I usually have a pretty quick turnaround, like I will edit the video right after I film it. And I have 2 SD cards. So I typically just like film on one SD card, and then when I'm done with filming the video, I'll put that SD card into my computer and switch to the other SD card, and then I will just edit the video off of the SD card. This is not advice because you should not do this if you are in any sort of like work sphere. Like this is a way to lose your files really easily. Always back up onto something else. So I have an external hard drive, but it's full, or it's like very close to being full. There's a little bit of space left. And what I started doing during NaNoWriMo when I was doing videos every day is I just edited off my SD card and then I exported the video onto my desktop. So like the completed video is on my desktop. And then if there's any clips that I might need for future videos, I will copy those onto my desktop, but then I'll just delete them from the SD card whenever the SD card fills up. So usually I leave the videos on the SD card for a little bit after I edit it, just in case like, oh, I need to go back and redo that. Because a lot of it's montages, and so a lot of it's like 2-hour time lapses of me writing. And I'm like, my computer doesn't have space for that. And my hard drive doesn't either, unless I want to get one of those like giant server hard drives, which I'm considering. I feel good about that. Now I'm gonna make some thumbnails for my live streams coming up. And then I'm going to do my querying. So what I think I'm gonna do for this is researching literary agents is something that can eat so much time up. And I'm also kind of in this place of like, I know kind of what the big agencies are. And so I'm aware of what my options are. But the thing is, I'm kind of operating off of this assumption, which maybe is wrong, so correct me if I need to, but like if they're not on Query Tracker at all, they're probably not accepting people's submissions unagented, because otherwise how are you gonna find them? If you know of a popular space to submit things that is not through Query Tracker, let me know. But I'm kind of like, I could worry myself into circles by trying to find all these extra places that accept submissions, and I'm like, and I will if I see them, because I'm like, from you guys or from like the internet, like whatever, I will take that opportunity, but I don't need that extra stress. I'm kind of operating solely through Query Tracker right now. And so sorting by genre, and then this is maybe toxic of me, but I look on the website. I obviously take a look at the manuscript wish list and research the agent for like 5 minutes to see what their vibe is. And then I look on the agency website and see if I recognize titles, because if I don't recognize titles, it's not that I won't submit to them, but it's something I kind of keep in mind. Like if I don't recognize anything, I likely won't submit there. And then some agencies have this section about authors, and sometimes it'll be sectioned by like people who have sold books and people who haven't. And so some agencies will have like a really, really long list of authors who are like at the end of their bio, it says, this book is still available if you want it, which to me, I don't know what that means, but when there's a lot of those, I kind of am a little wary because I'm like, how is this agency selling books, you know? All this to say is that researching agents is something that could be this giant sinkhole where you just like get trapped in all these different, like I'm gonna have 85 tabs open, I'm sure, looking at their website and then their wish list and then Publishers Marketplace and then all these different things. So I'm gonna set a timer, and that's how long I'm gonna spend doing this and just resetting, adding some agents to my list. This is not formal advice. Other people have much more organized and efficient ways to do this. I wish I got Meredith Phillips, Queen. She was very organized, as was Madeline James. So if you want someone who's like data, tracking, spreadsheet, A-list, B-list, C-list, agents, time, blah. It's not that I'm not doing any of that work. I'm just not doing any of that work on a spreadsheet. I'm just doing it up here in the old noggin. Those are my thoughts. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hi everyone, remember how in the last clip I was like, oh, I gave myself so much writing to do today. Well, I did, and now I have to do it. Which is fine. I think I'm actually gonna play a game of chess. It's been a long time since I've talked about chess on this channel. Mostly because I haven't played a game of chess in months. I think I'm feeling like I really don't want to write. I haven't played chess in so long that I have been logged out. It logged me out of chess.com. But I've been trying to take more breaks. But have I really? And I do like this scene. I don't know why I don't want to do it. I don't know. But it is Sunday night, so I'm going to try to not be so crazy and productive all the time. I have actually gotten so much done today. Okay, I'm going to go play chess. Don't bother me. Thank you. Hi. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video. But before we go, I've reset almost everything, and yet somehow in the time since starting to reset and now my house is already a mess again, specifically the kitchen, and it's really not even that much of a mess. It's just that I meal prepped last night and I did it too late in the evening, and so then I got overwhelmed and I didn't forget. Just neglected to clean as thoroughly as I should have. I might take 10 minutes and do it this morning. Anyway, but I reset my writing plan. I'm already behind on the writing plan because I started watching a show. That's the way it goes, but I think there's still a way for me to be on track. So I'm not getting too disheartened about that. Plans are meant to be a framework, not a rule book. I've been listening to a lot of mom productivity balance podcasts recently, so I'm just cosplaying as a 30-year-old woman with 3 children, which I'm not, but you know, I use those tips and sayings to balance my life. Anyway, the only thing I haven't shared with you yet, well, there's probably more that I'm forgetting about. The only thing I haven't talked about is my summer TBR, which I have put together, not even summer, June. This is bold and ambitious. But these are just some books some of them new, some of them old, that I've been thinking about, and some of them have been sitting on my shelf for a long time. And I kind of got a variety of things, so I'll just briefly walk you through. So the first one I've had for like over a year, and it's 7 days in June. And every time I go to try to read this, I'm like, well, it's not June yet. Well, it's June now. So I'm gonna try. So this is like, I think like more serious lit fic romance sort of situation. And then I have a thriller rom-com. I don't think that's actually what it is, but that's what I'm gonna call it at this point. How to Kill a Guy in 10 Ways. So kind of a different energy. And then I have a real rom-com, When in Rome, which I've owned this for months, but I think it's one of the only rom-coms left on my shelf. I don't even know if it's a com, just a romance, like a nice fun romance, not a dark scary one. I've taken it on so many vacations and never gotten to it, so I'm gonna try to prioritize this one, but I don't actually care. It's just, this is the last romance I have on my shelf that I haven't read. Then I have Alias Emma, which I think is like a serious thriller. It's like a spy, undercover agent kind of a thriller, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that, so that's what I have. And then I have Love in the Time of Serial Killers, which I think is another sort of like fun murder. Seems like something I would enjoy. And then I have Tress of the Emerald Sea. I have not read any Brandon Sanderson, sorry. And I think I was saying this in my wrap up, I'm leaning away from fantasy these days, but I wanna give this a try if I feel the need for fantasy in my life. So that's kind of what my plan is for books. It was kind of fun to just look through and cosplay as a booktuber for a second. I would like to say that I'm feeling refreshed, but I'm currently staring at my messy kitchen. But I'm so glad to clean my car out, you guys. I needed that. I needed that emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And my meal prep this week is really yummy. So I'm also excited about that. It's like a chicken, bacon, ranch, pasta salad. And I used Greek yogurt as the base, so it's really high in protein. So it gets me smashing my protein goals. So this is if you've reset with me during this video, congratulations, great job, you're doing amazing. Comment whatever emoji reminds you the most of summer. Maybe a sunshine, maybe a flower, or if you're on the opposite hemisphere, drop me like a snowflake or an autumn leaf. Whatever you want, one of those to let me know. But yes, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing in advance, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.